What if I told you there is a secret to building wealth and that all self-made millionaires and billionaires have used this exact same steps to build their fortunes, and there is nothing stopping you from doing the same? So let's dive into it. Welcome to the paradigm, and today I'm going to be talking about the secret to building wealth. Many people believe that building wealth is all about making a lot of money, but that's not necessarily the case. In fact, the secret to building wealth is much simpler. It's about spending less than you earn and investing the difference. Here's how it works. Let's say you make $50,000 a year and you spend $40,000 a year on expenses. That means you have $10,000 left over, which you can use to invest. If you invest that money in a stock or mutual fund that earns an average of 8% per year, after 20 years you would have more than $80,000. And if you continue investing and earning a return on your investments, your wealth will continue to grow over time. Of course, this is just one example, and your actual results will depend on a number of factors, including your income, expenses, and the investments you choose. But the principle is the same. If you can save and invest a portion of your income over time, you will be able to build wealth. So how can you put this principle into action? Here are a few steps you can take. Step 1. Create a budget. A budget is a plan that helps you track your income and expenses, so that you can see how much money you have left over to save and invest. To create a budget, start by listing all of your monthly income, including any salary or wages, investment income, or other sources of money. Then, list all of your monthly expenses, including rent, bills, groceries, and any other regular payments you make. Subtract your expenses from your income to see how much money you have left over. If you have money left over, you can use it to save or invest, or you can allocate it to discretionary spending, like going out with friends or buying clothes. If you are spending more than you are earning, you may need to cut back on some expenses or find ways to increase your income. Step 2. Spend wisely. Once you have a budget, you can start looking for ways to cut back on unnecessary expenses and prioritize your spending on the things that are most important to you. For example, you may want to cook at home more often instead of eating out, or you may want to shop around for the best prices on groceries and other household items. By being mindful of your spending and making conscious decisions about where to allocate your money, you can save more and have more money available to invest. Step 3. Invest in your future. Your 20s are a great time to start thinking about your financial future and making plans for retirement. Consider investing in a 401k or IRA, which are tax-advantaged accounts designed for retirement savings. You may also want to consider investing in other financial instruments, like stocks or mutual funds, to help grow your wealth over time. The earlier you start saving and investing, the more time your money has to grow, so it's never too early to start planning for your financial future. Step 4. Educate yourself. It's important to educate yourself about different investment options and make informed decisions about how to allocate your money. This can include learning about different types of stocks, mutual funds, and other investment vehicles, as well as understanding the risks and rewards of each option. There are many resources available to help you learn more about personal finance, including books, online courses, and financial advisors. Step 5. Save for emergencies. One of the key components of building wealth is being prepared for unexpected expenses or a loss of income. This is where an emergency fund comes in. An emergency fund is a stash of cash that you set aside specifically for unexpected or unforeseen expenses, like a car repair, a medical bill, or a job loss. Ideally, you should aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. For example, if you spend $2,000 a month on necessities like rent, groceries, and bills, you should aim to save at least $6,000 to $12,000 in your emergency fund. There are a few things to consider when building your emergency fund. Location. It's generally a good idea to keep your emergency fund in a separate, easily accessible account, like a high-yield savings account or a money market fund. This way, you can withdraw the money quickly if you need it, but it will still be earning a small amount of interest. Liquidity. Make sure that the funds in your emergency fund are easily accessible and can be withdrawn without any penalties. You don't want to have to pay fees or wait a long time to access your emergency funds when you need them. Purpose. Your emergency fund should only be used for true emergencies, like a sudden illness or a job loss. It's not meant to be used for things like a vacation or a new TV. By building an emergency fund, you can protect yourself from financial setbacks and ensure that you have the resources you need to weather unexpected storms. This can help you build wealth over time by reducing the need to borrow money or dip into your investments in times of crisis. Step 6. Paying off debt. Paying off debt is an important step in building wealth, as high-interest debt can eat into your wealth by reducing the amount of money you have available to save and invest. Here are a few tips for paying off debt. Make a plan. Create a debt repayment plan that outlines how much you owe, the interest rate on each debt, and the minimum monthly payment required. This will help you prioritize your debts and make a plan to pay them off. Pay off high-interest debt first. It's generally a good idea to focus on paying off high-interest debt first, as it will cost you more in the long run. For example, if you have a credit card with a 20% interest rate and a student loan with a 5% interest rate, you should focus on paying off the credit card first. Consider consolidation. If you have multiple debts with high interest rates, you may want to consider consolidation. This involves taking out a single loan to pay off all of your other debts, which can often result in a lower interest rate. Just be sure to compare the terms and fees of different consolidation loans before you decide. Make more than the minimum payment. If you can afford to, try to make more than the minimum payment on your debts each month. This will help you pay off your debts faster and save on interest. Look for ways to increase your income. If you're struggling to make your debt payments, you may want to consider finding ways to increase your income, whether that means negotiating a higher salary, starting a side hustle, or finding a higher paying job. By following these steps and being disciplined about paying off your debts, you can reduce the burden of high-interest debt and free up more money to save and invest. And finally, increase your income. Increasing your income can be an effective way to build wealth, as it gives you more money to save and invest. Here are a few ways to increase your income. Negotiate a higher salary. If you're happy with your current job and believe that you are being underpaid, you may want to consider negotiating a higher salary. This can involve researching market rates for your job, preparing a list of your accomplishments and the value you bring to the company, and making a case for why you deserve a raise. Start a side hustle. A side hustle is a part-time business or gig that you work on outside of your regular job. There are many ways to start a side hustle, depending on your skills and interests. Some ideas might include offering services like freelance writing or photography, selling products online, or providing home repairs or landscaping services. Find a higher paying job. If you are not satisfied with your current job or are looking for a change, you may want to consider looking for a higher paying job. This could involve updating your resume, networking with industry professionals, or taking additional training or education to qualify for higher paying positions. Invest in your education. Investing in your education can be a good way to increase your income over the long term. By gaining new skills or credentials, you may be able to qualify for higher paying jobs or negotiate a higher salary. Cut expenses. Finally, you may be able to increase your income by cutting expenses. By reducing your spending on unnecessary items, you can free up more money to save and invest, which can help you build wealth over time. By following these tips and being proactive about increasing your income, you can build wealth and secure your financial future. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.